This is going to be a completely subjective list, of course, 100% based on my personal opinions. I've basically put myself through torture again, listening through to these 10 songs. They're kind of all horrible in their own special way, and these aren't necessarily the songs that I think are literally the worst of the decade. They're more the ones that really buried under my skin. Number 10 is the first song on arguably Jay-Z's worst album to date, Holy Grail by Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake. To this day, I cannot understand why Kanye West wanted this song. He openly advocated for this song to be on Watch the Throne in place of No Church in the Wild. It's like night and day between these two songs. This Justin Timberlake feature was part of this strange trend in the earlier part of the decade to have overly dramatic or melodramatic pop/hip hop crossovers, to which I completely blame Eminem and Rihanna's Love the Way You Lie for. Holy Grail to me is just so cringe. The Nirvana interpolation is pointless, stupid, unnecessary. It's just a flex to show that they were allowed to do this. Jay is at his worst lyrically. The entire song, we're basically meant to feel sorry for him, that he's struggling with the weight of being rich and famous. Like, how are we meant to feel sorry for you? Who is going to relate to this song apart from other rich and famous celebrities? The instrumental is all over the place, and it just sets the scene for, like I said, one of Jay-Z's weakest albums to date. Yes, we get it. The song is a metaphor for fame. We get it. We've heard it a million times. Number 9 is On the Floor by Jennifer Lopez and Pitbull. I remember this song dropping when I was like 13 or 14, and it got under my skin immediately. I know it's just a fun club song to turn up to, but even for that purpose, it's a horrible song. That instrumental during the verses, fuck me. Pitbull, oh my god. Man says, I'm like Inception, I play with your brain. And the fucking pump it up like a fatty Tonka truck. What the fuck is this song? I'll admit that Jennifer Lopez in the past has dropped some bangers. Jenny from the Block, Get Right, those undeniably slap. But this tune just exemplifies everything that was wrong with early 2000s pop club crossover music. The instrumental, the lyrics, the hook, the refrains just sound like they've come straight out of an auto-generated song machine. I hated it then, and I still hate it now. Number 8 is Strip That Down. Jesus Christ. Strip That Down by Liam Payne and Quavo. Similarly to Get on the Floor by J-Lo, this was just an amalgamation of all the popular trends that were happening at that respective moment in time. You know, songs like Work From Home by Fifth Harmony or Poster B by Amarian and Jhené Aiko. It's that kind of song, the one that goes dun 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 dun, those tunes. I think these songs maybe got under my skin more so than they would have, because they all dropped around the time when I went to university and I was going out clubbing quite a lot, and these were playing every single fucking night, everywhere you went. It got to the point where I was struggling to differentiate between these types of songs, but Strip That Down was the worst offender for me. The beat is just a shameless DJ Mustard ripoff. Liam Payne drops some corny as shit lines. You know, I used to be in 1D, now I'm out free. Quavo on this song, Jesus fucking Christ. I've been saying for a while now that I think Quavo's career has flatlined since around 2016, 2017, around the time that the first Culture album came out. Not a single word, bar, flow, lyric sounds original. It sounds like he whipped up his feature in a couple of minutes. I do hope that going into this new decade that the club banger, the moody, sultry, sexy club banger with the hip-hop feature that's popping off, I hope that trend dies a very painful death. Number 7 is the Chainsmokers and Halsey with Closer. For me, this was like the Infinity War crossover of mediocre artists, pairing maybe the most cookie cutter, devoid of human emotion, copy and paste production duos ever with one of the most generic pop singers of the last 5 or 6 years. This song is like the musical equivalent of the CW network, everything that stands for. It's just dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. All it is a song about cringy white millennials falling in love. Musically, I think that listening to Static would be more challenging than listening to this. And I'm not saying that I'm some expert on music theory or anything, because I'm definitely not. But even to me, this seems very rudimentary. There's not much else to say about this song because it's a nothing song. It's a black hole of a song. Number 6 is Girls Like You by Maroon 5 remix with Cardi B. This song is actually quite unique because I hate the video even more than I hate the song itself. It did seem quite suspicious to me that this video dropped a matter of weeks after Drake's Nice For What video with strikingly similar concepts, just 10 times worse. Everything about this song is just vomit-inducing, but at the same time, it's so sanitary and overly sweet. It's like biting into just a cube of sugar. But to make it seem kind of edgy, Adam Levine drops in references to him drinking, and he says shit once. He drops a swear. Like a couple of the preceding songs, the instrumental was just generic, very boring, and that fucking annoying guitar that runs throughout the entire song is there as well. The hook is annoying as hell. Even the vocals aren't up to scratch. We know that, Adam Levine isn't like my favorite singer or anything, but we know that Adam Levine can sing. But on here, he sounds just super flat and robotic. Girls Like You on its own is bad enough, but I picked the remix for a reason, and that's because Cardi B's verse is... Now, I mentioned this a couple of days ago in my review of the DJ Khaled album, but Cardi B has this tendency to drop and write these bars that make her sound genuinely unlikable. Again, I understand that, rap is full of boasting and braggadocio and, it's fun just to flex, but you have to do it in a clever or witty way. Otherwise, you just come off super unrelatable. I don't really want a white horse and a carriage. I'm thinking more a white Porsche and carrots. I play with this kitty like you play with the guitar. I can't even read any more of these bars. Just fuck this song. Fuck it. Speaking of DJ Khaled, actually, he's at number 5 with SZA for the song Just Us. This song is actually mainly on here just for the instrumental alone. Why would you even try and touch such a classic, iconic beat like Miss Jackson? Somehow they strip all the fun and charm and character out of this instrumental. And to add insult to injury, on top they add these super cheap sounding MIDI synth strings. DJ Khaled coming in periodically and saying, "It's just us! This how an angel sound!" doesn't help how infuriating this song is. SZA's singing isn't bad, it's SZA. She's always gonna have a decent performance. The song is on here solely because of the idea behind it. Just how much they clearly try to attempt to ruin a certified hip-hop classic. Number 4 is Supplies by Justin Timberlake. I was actually really excited when I heard that this song was dropping because Justin Timberlake and the Neptunes together dropped some of the best tunes of the early 2000s. Unfortunately, Man of the Woods is easily the worst Justin Timberlake album ever, and this is the worst song on his worst album. One thing that confused me about this song is the music video. It seems that the whole end of the world, apocalyptic, dystopian thing they had going on was just because of this one single vague reference to the end of the world in the lyrics. If you remove this line, the music video makes no sense. The strange mesh of folk and hip-hop is super awkward. That's a trend that runs through the entire album. But around about 2/3 of the way into the song, it just completely collapses under its own weight. But the worst thing by far on this song is the chorus. I got supplies. I got supplies. It's one of the most irritating hooks I have ever heard in my life. How did it go so wrong? This is the same team that were responsible for Senorita and Rock Your Body and Like I Love You. Man of the Woods was disappointing for most Justin Timberlake fans, I think, but to have the worst song on here be produced by the Neptunes just adds insult to injury. Number 3 is New Man by Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is undoubtedly one of the biggest selling artists of the last 10 years. He's also consistently brought out some of the plainest, most inoffensive, simple pop music in that same time period. I've always thought his hip-hop crossovers were super awkward all the way back to the number 5 collaborations EP. Divide has some of the worst offenders in this strange little niche of a category, but this song is awkward for a different reason. It's its strange mesh, a bit like Supplies, it's strange mesh of R&B and folk. It's lyrically, it's petty, it's childish, it's just fucking pointless. And I hear he's on a new diet and watches what he eats. He's got his eyebrows plucked and his asshole bleached. Bars. But also the complete lack of self-awareness on the song is astonishing. He berates this new guy that his ex is seeing for throwing up gang signs and saying tune whenever he hears a rap song at a party. Am I alone in thinking this, or is that not the exact type of person that we imagine Ed Sheeran to be? That's you. He's the guy that's been skating off and profiting off of hip-hop aesthetics for the majority of his career.
In Rastaman time. Now where I come from, born in wheat, it is a habit.
The instrumental is dead. The 4-chord strummed guitar chords are dead. It's a nothing chorus. It's not fun. It's not catchy. It's just shit. It's just an incredibly, uniquely annoying, childish, horribly written song. The runner-up is Dance Monkey by Tones and I. Now, I'm pretty sure I remember where I was when I first heard this song. It was about 18 or so months ago. I was on holiday in Germany and I heard this song, I think, on the radio, and I assumed that the song was in German because I could not understand what the fuck this woman was saying. The vocals, this is one of the worst voices I have ever heard in my life. It's like scraping your balls up against the cheese grater. What is that? This isn't cursive singing. This is a whole new thing. This is like singing in shorthand. Everything else about the song is just painfully average. The toy piano sounding shit is awful. The basic as shit beats, the dead lyrics, but all of that pales in comparison to the vocals, to the vocal delivery. It's genuinely one of the worst, most irritating performances I have ever come across. How does this song have over 2 billion streams on Spotify? Is it like this giant inside joke that I'm not a part of? Rarely does a song conjure genuine anger inside of me, but this is one of those songs. And number 1 is Venom by Eminem. Eminem in the last decade has been batting way below his average. He has dropped his worst music in this time period. For someone of Eminem's legacy, he is considered one of the best to ever do it, and it hasn't just been a one-off. He has consistently been dropping average projects. I think people don't go too hard on Kamikaze because it came out just a few months after Revival, and that was god-awful. And in comparison, Kamikaze was kind of passable, but Venom is way worse than anything else that's on Revival. It's quite fitting though, because the film that this song is attached to is almost as shite as the song itself. His stop-start, it's so jarring to listen to. I don't know why he started doing this flow. The bars, wicked. I get all high when I think I've smelled the scent of elephant manure. Hell, I meant Kahlua. What the fuck? I genuinely cannot believe that there are people that listen to this song unironically and enjoy it. I just refuse. I know music is subjective, but I refuse to believe it. The instrumental, trash. The flows, trash. The bars, trash. Everything is already trash about this song, and then you get to the hook. Just for that hook, that's why this song is top. It's just for the hook. It's the most grating, irritating, fucking hook of the entire decade. That's why it's number 1. Anyway, that is my list. Let me know in the comments down below what you think are some of the worst or most annoying songs of the past decade. Make sure to like, subscribe, and dong the bell, and I will see you next time.